I'm not trying to single out Hwoarang here. I talk about all of these characters. I think I feel the most for Hwoarang, and he upsets me the most because he used to be such a great thing. Looks cool. I really like the way he looks. And then Taekwondo, super complicated, all of his stances, all of the moves, high mechanical skill, high strategic skill. Of all the characters to ruin, you had to ruin him. What's up, guys? Old Man Swe here. No, MainManSWE here. Hoping you're all doing awesome as always. I did a reaction to Ars and Ash's tier list a while ago. Some people thought that was funny. So now my chat was like, you gotta react to KO's tier list, you know, the UK Hwoarang. I think he's the best Hwoarang in Europe. Well, there are a lot of Hwoarangs, but you know him. He's a very decorated Hwoarang player. He's really good. So he made a tier list. So we can react to that, although it's like 1 hour long, so we can't listen to all of that. Does he have chapters? No, what a scrub. Does not have chapters, god damn it. Okay, we'll just go to the final list, so we can just talk about that. And then if you want to hear, you know, his thoughts on a specific character, I guess I can slide like this. You see it puts them out. And we can hear what he has to say. And obviously, I want to hear what he has to say about Hwoarang. You can tell he does exactly what I do. And he puts everyone. I wouldn't do this exactly. I would still put characters in like A. Not B, but like A is the worst you'll be in Tekken 8. Like everyone's on the Arslan special sauce in this game. Everyone is very strong. I would have to make a distinction between a character. Like here, this is so weird to me personally. You put Fengwei here in S. That's as low as he'll go. And Deviljin is there. To me, it's just like, that's a joke. You're gonna tell me those two are on the same tier? Maybe he feels Deviljin is like proper strong and shit, but it's like, this is obviously the worst character in the game, in my opinion. And I wouldn't put Hwoarang on the same tier as Fengwei. I wouldn't put Jack there, although Jack is a bit underrated. Shaheen is solid. Shaheen is strong, but yeah, this just immediately does not make sense to me at all. I would put an A here, where I would put some characters, but the general gist of this is correct, though, that, you know, there's no one that's like straight up bad. That's a very interesting list. So let's just look at his top 10. Is this a top 10? It's impossible to disagree with these. They are all insane. I just personally wouldn't put King and Lars up there. Early season 2 Lars, I would have up there. But right now, with those nerfs he got, I don't see him being on par with those characters. I think King has some nice tools, but it's for a reason you only see the John play him. You know that all of these characters have been represented by multiple people. But you know what's his biggest flaw, in my opinion? How unbelievably predictable he is in that he relies so much on down for 2-1. You'll see this when the John plays as well. Literally half the time he is just counter it fishing with down for 2-1. And then you can talk about arguments for him being up here, which in my opinion is the super busted and overtuned wall combo. I'm assuming that's going to see a nerf in Season 3. I sure hope so. I cannot see a world where King legit compares to this part of a cast. This is pre-Armor King, so he doesn't place Armor King. Armor King I can touch upon quickly here. Very, very legacy character. He has very little of a Tekken 8 juice. Terrible heat smash, terrible heat burst. It's got to be bottom 3 heat burst. He has a lot of decent tools. But in a game where a lot of characters have busted tools, he is relying on classic legacy Tekken. He's moving around with strong movement, trying to find whiff punish openings, trying to find a dark upper, punishes minus frames. When opponents play poorly, he punishes well. But when he goes for his offense, he's counter it fishing with decent buttons and then decent poking. You know, it's just old school Tekken. And due to that, he's like bottom 10 territory. So I know he is a Hwoarang main, but then I would ask KO's like, how is King better than Hwoarang? I would put Hwoarang above Lars. And I think Lars is better than King. So he is saying Kazuya, Reina are better than Fengwei. I don't see that. Although Fengwei has problems, I assume Kwis puts, again, I don't want to put words in his mouth. We're going to listen a bit to him. But I think he puts Fengwei here because he feels Fengwei, the damage output isn't fair compared to these characters. Over-reliance on dash jabs and combos, limiting wall travel, limiting damage output. But that's the only downside to this character. Everything else is fucking intense. Is this a joke, or Fengwei is worse than Asusuna? This isn't ordered. I want to hear Hwoarang most of all, I think.
Hwoarang is S here. This is where Hwoarang goes. Very strong character. His heat is insane. You know, we don't need to... I think we're all in agreement on that.
Yeah.
Very strong character, insane heat damage. He does everything all the characters are doing. The only thing with Hwoarang, and I'm going to compare him to Lars in this regard, is Hwoarang is still high risk, high reward in the sense of...
Yeah, now he's going to talk about like option select.
When Lars takes risks with his lows, in stance, you're getting the -12 lows. Hwoarang with a down 3-4, that's launch. With the hell sweep, it's launch. Obviously, down back 4 is one of the best lows in the game right now. No debate around that. But he is a character that's actually taking risk. And you're talking to someone right now who plays this character at the highest level and understands that there is risk involved with the things that he does. Tracking is still an issue with certain moves.
It's just that when we compare Hwoarang, in my opinion, to characters that truly takes risks, I don't know what the problem is with Hwoarang. They gave you a full screen Demon Paw, Dragon Lash, homing full screen mid, +1 on block, heat engager, launches in heat. It comes out so quickly as well. You can just motion switch down for it free and it comes out almost instantly. What's that for a neutral button to give a character that used to struggle with initiation? And then with risks, it's like, I don't know, like what risks are you taking exactly? He's mentioning down 3-4. The punish window on that move is so small. You're taking risks when you're plus on whiff on your flamingo jabs. Your backlash recovers so quickly that even in an offline setting, you see top players drop the whiff punish. When I talk about Hwoarang and risks, it's almost with quotation marks like this, because it's like your character is almost impossible to punish. When I whiff something on my characters, I pay for it very often. You know, Heihachi, Kazuya, someone steps me and I'm like, I'm minus a lot, you know, and they can have a cup of coffee and then launch me. And now I'm exaggerating, but it's like they leave opportunity for a competent player to launch them most of the time. At the very least, take a jab string. Hwoarang, when he whiffs things, I can be razor sharp and go, now. And he blocks. Or he ducks my jab and launches me, and I go insane sometimes. We talk about characters being plus on block. I feel like he's like plus on whiff. There is some effort that goes into playing Hwoarang. It's not Asuka, it's not Anna, it's not Clive. There is more work to playing Hwoarang. It's just that Hwoarang is one of the biggest piles of fucking junk in this game right now. The way you put it, you make it sound he's the best character in the game. No, I'm gonna be fair. There are more characters like this. I would say the exact same thing about Asuka, except she's much easier than Hwoarang. She's stronger than Hwoarang because she's way more basic and streamlined. They just rotate the same 10 moves. Hwoarang needs more moves than that. She is a worse offender even than Hwoarang. And granted, as I said, he's a little bit more tricky to play, strategically and mechanical skill. But he is unlimited in potential, as far as I'm concerned. There is not a single thing this character can't do. And as soon as he pops his heat, in my opinion, he has higher potential than any character in the game when he pops his heat. Very long range tracking, wall splatting heat smash for 100 damage. For huge plus frames into mix up on block. He covers that. And then he has the best counter utility in the game. He has amazing heat dashes in heat. The aforementioned right foot forward, down foot free. That Dragon Lash is now a launcher in Heat. It's like a homing demon paw. That's a launcher. And he has everything else. Perfect throw game, universal down for 2, even though he shouldn't have it, he has that. And he has orbital, and he has panic buttons, and he has a 50-50 throw game from back turned. He has plus frame mids on block. He's got a wave dash, just frame skyrocket. He has back free, arguably the best whiff punish in the game. He has the flamingo pressure. Everything is plus on whiff. He has lows, he has mids, he has highs. Explain to me how this character doesn't have arguably some of the highest potential in the game. But then, of course, I mean, Brian, Giga Broken. I want them to nerf him. Giga Broken. Giga Broken, Giga Broken, Giga Broken. I'm not trying to single out Hwoarang here. I talk about all of these characters. It's just that I think I feel the most for Hwoarang, and he upsets me the most because he used to be such a great thing. Looks cool. I really like the way he looks. And then Taekwondo, super complicated, all of the stances, all of the moves, high mechanical skill, high strategic skill. Of all the characters to ruin, you had to ruin him. Same with Brian. No, I agree with you. I'm 50-50 on Brian. He still remains enough Brian, I think. What they did to Hwoarang to me is just like, it's not even Hwoarang anymore. Brian still remains, to a large extent, Brian, but easy taunt heat smash, dumbing down the mechanical skill, making him so much more aggressive. Cannon shouldn't be +5, it should be neutral on block. And then dumbing down the neutral with Incinerator. And the parry just has to be removed at this point. You're gonna give him a Mach Punch that's +5 on block, chip damages, and it's a reversal for 30 damage and wall splats. It's arguably the dumbest move in the game. And why does he have a full crouch mix? Brian has been bastardized in Tekken 8. I fully agree, and I want Season 3 to nerf him hard.
But yeah, with Kazuya, I think forward 2 to cover weaknesses has been good for him since the game released. His additions in Season 2, like he can get heat back now with new moves. I think any character that, I don't know why regaining heat is a thing. I don't know why it exists.
Yeah, regain heat is absolutely fucking terrible and should be removed.
He's pretty much the same guy, but like becomes a bastard in heat. But who doesn't become a bastard in heat? I think Raven.
Okay, so that's it for Kazuya. Okay.
Let's do at least.
Kazuya is solid and strong, but he can't compete with the dumb characters. I would probably put him similar-ish, but he's just way too difficult to play strategically and mechanical skill. And it's like Keisuke said after the latest tournament, he said that he's probably not going to continue with Kazuya in tournaments because it's just way too difficult. Yeah, I heard Arsan talk about this on stream yesterday. He said the same thing. Kazuya is too difficult. Fengwei would be interesting because he's putting Fengwei so low, in my opinion.
The problem with Feng right now, while he is still strong, he has to win so many more interactions than other characters, being a poke character. And I think he still has his bullshit. Back 1, back 4-2 is stupid. His low pokes is good. Then QCF1 is still stupid. I think all the lows they sped up this season need to be reverted. But I think the fact he has to win more interactions now, the game goes longer, heat winds down. I think definitely makes Feng hurt a little bit.
I fully agree with what he says here, and it's a predictable thing. That is Fengwei's biggest problem. He doesn't do sheer damage output explosiveness like most of a roster, and his combos actually feel sort of balanced compared to the characters that dominate the tournaments. It's just that I don't see this is a joke to me, placing these two next to each other, because here you go, like, okay, it needs to win more interactions. Devil Jin has to win some interactions, right? But for him, he's always gambling his entire health pool. Always gambling with the health sweep, because that's all you have, really. If you're on a stage without walls, this character is so trash. Panic buttons are not a factor in pro play. They are still there, but holy hell, if you get it wrong, you are instantly killed. And then you have your 50-50 in heat, where you have minus 12 while standing too, because CD 1+2 1+2 ain't gonna do it. It is way too slow, and it is reactable. And then with walls, you actually have a deadly wall combo in Morning Crow Tormentor into a guaranteed steel pedal. That is very strong. But if you do not have walls, it's like Devil Chin to me is just straight up trash. And you can talk about has to win multiple interactions, right? But you have to also factor in that the tools TheMainManSWE uses to win interactions are far superior to tools on 95% of a roster. His tools are so fucking strong. And if you are range 0 against TheMainManSWE, like, you're his bitch with his poking, his 50-50, his campo, his control of a space in terms of tracking. There's no way of putting these two on the same bracket here. But outside of that, I think this is a very fair tier list. Again, I wouldn't put King here. I wouldn't put Lars there. Although that, there's more of an argument for that one. But up here, I would 100% have Jin in the top 10. I would probably 100% have Hwoarang in the top 10. King is better than Jin? In what world does that happen, in my opinion? And June is super strong, super strong. But yeah, there's so many dumb characters in this game. That's the reality. And Yoshi is insane. Yoshi's insane. But it's nice seeing Paul and Lee high. You know, they've been underrated for a long time. Some interesting takes for sure here. And on the most part, it's a really good tier list. Yeah, I think that's as far as we're gonna cover it. We heard him talk about the interesting characters. You know, as a round off, we can hear King.
I think we don't talk about King enough. His throws are homing in heat. His new wall combo gives him a running mix-up.
So homing throws are super dumb and shouldn't be a thing. But that's not going to be a factor in pro play in making a character super strong. And throw breaks on pro players are so strong, and it is still going to lose to interruption and duck. Don't get me wrong, it's still dumb and shouldn't be in the game, but it's not going to be a factor as to a character making it up here.
The wall now, while standing 2-2, gives him a running mix-up.
What's busted on King? Wall combo, down for 2-1, arguably muscle armor. Sprint mix. The throws can get really strong. Homing giant swing. And outside of that, he's solid.
Forward 2. Which I can't...
Forward neutral 2 is not fucking broken, dude. It's not broken.
Like, I feel like it never got nerfed.
I missed it. Sorry, yeah. Heat smash. That one you cannot miss. That's one of the biggest factors on King. His heat smash is so broken. It's almost full screen. Pseudo homing, huge damage floor break, 60 damage, and gives a very strong mix on block. Yeah, but the heat smash is so dumb. Okay, so that's it for King. I would have loved to hear more detail on that, but still, you know, a cool list here. Agree with most of it. But so I hope you thought that was interesting. I feel like it turned into another rant on Hwoarang. But still some interesting things here. And good job, KOS on the list.